Excuse me, I'm a little.
It's okay. I'm like that too. Don't worry. I just say good.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hi. Good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Welcome. I have Peaches. I have Money Monster.
Hi.
And I have the guest of honor, Miss DeJewel. How are you, ladies?
Good. How are you?
I'm holding
Or how
on.
are y'all?
Can't complain. So to get started, I wanted to do a open song. You got the song.
Yeah, I'm gonna fit right in.
Oh,
I'm gonna fit right in. I do not feel like being caught alone in this world anymore.
We all a little special.
I'm trying to tell you, it's okay.
Oh, see,
Hmm.
nah, you gotta add a little bit more when you say "little." That's like somebody put I put a little bit of seasoning in there. Now you gotta when it come to me, cause God put a little, He put a lot. He made sure that thing was seasoned with specialty.
Well, let's kick it off while we're waiting on that song to play.
It's not even playing. It's not even rolling. Like it's not even starting.
It was. What happened?
It's okay, nothing but the chicken wing ain't nothing gonna
See,
stop no sugar. He
see, look, it's on Facebook.
Okay. Thank you.
So you can go ahead and just talk. Just don't worry
Okay.
about it now.
right, monster.
So let
We
me
are
ask, who is the jewel?
me. No, I'm playing. Okay, so um, actually, where I met a real proper life from, at the Cypher Open Mic is where DeJewel was birthed. Now I've been singing since I was like 3, but you have D, you have all these other nicknames, but DeJewel is the mature, like the unafraid, the the fearless, bold. You know what I'm saying? Person, not just bold with being herself because I've always been myself, but bold in the gifts that I have, like bold in who I am in that mannerism, and not afraid to show people who I am in that arena. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's
So
Dejour is like the first of my name, which is Dana, like Day, and then the jewel is because I'm simply, Jewel, the Jewel, but it's Day Jewel, pronounced Day Jewel. So
what made you create that name? It was something that helps you create it. What was the spark of the
my
creativity?
life, how I felt, or how I didn't feel. Let me correct myself. How I didn't view myself and didn't feel about myself. Like I didn't feel like I was a jewel. I didn't feel, you know what I'm saying, like I qualified to be called or to even walk in that lane of being a jewel. So it was kind of like, yeah, after I had to like get it up here mentally, emotionally, in other areas of my life, it was like, yeah, de jewel. Like
Okay. So how long have you been singing?
since I was 3.
Okay. Wow. Is that church?
Yeah, I mean, I've written since elementary school, but because of the house that I grew up in, of course, everything was, you know, church. So,
Hmm.
I would just sing in church and write poems for, church. But um, once trauma uh, hit, or I started experiencing trauma, like, or even being in therapy for the things that I've gone through, they kind of challenged me a little bit instead of like reacting because I would like be destructive or shut down and fall into depression. So they were just like, hey, instead of reacting how you react, you love music, you do music, you write. So when you feel or when you're going through whatever, we gonna challenge you to just write instead of responding in the way that you write. So I've never shared what I've written with like other
Mhm.
people except outside of elementary school. Like I would just keep it to myself or keep it in a book. But
Like me.
mm,
So you channeled your pain into something else.
yes,
Into music.
yeah.
Okay.
You can still see it.
Because really,
So
gospel church was doing it, but just being honest, like you can't deal. My perspective, you can't deal without the spirit without dealing with the natural. So you got to deal with both of them. You got to okay, in the spirit this happened, but you still got to face your reality. And
Right.
so my reality was like, okay, this is not going to change. This is what I'm going through. This is what I've experienced. This is what I'm experiencing. Other than getting myself into trouble and participating in other things to numb myself, like outside of church, like everything that I've gone through wasn't spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't fit for the church setting. So I had to find a way to express myself to get it out.
when you say express yourself, what type of poems did that create?
Ooh. It started
Ouch.
off, yeah, it did. No, cause for real, I'm gonna tell my truth. It started off like I would write poems when I'm angry, like stuff I felt like I couldn't say out loud or like do to somebody. I would write a poem and it would be very violent. So it started off. My first poem was about my cousin that passed in elementary school. That got published in a book, and then all the poems after that was just like from emotions, what I felt. Basically, anything that I felt, I wrote it in a poem or in a song. Now, I haven't done poetry or spoken word in over 10 years, but you know, I guess they say writing songs and I mean, it's different doing spoken word, but when you write a song, that's kind of.
It's in that same lane. Yeah.
It's in the same lane because what people don't understand, it's on paper. It's a poem
Ooh,
before it becomes bars.
right.
Before it become them 16 bars, it's a poem. You
That's how I taught
add,
myself to write music,
you you
singing my
add,
poems. Mm-hmm.
you add layers to it. And with most people understand that they are a poet
Mm-hmm.
and that their words have a flow, they'll dig a
Mm-hmm.
little deep.
Right.
So, Miss Peaches, you have any questions? Are you gonna wait for?
No, I was listening and I was asking questions, but I was listening to see where y'all was going with this.
It's gonna get real.
I believe
It's
because I feel like you saying a lot, but I feel like you holding back. Like it's like you saying something, but it's weight on the end of it. So just drop it. Why? Safe space. Let it go. It's
okay.
I
So
can
you want
see
me
it
to go
here.
ahead, or you want to?
I can see it here. Let it out.
Hey, listen, I already got my paper towels right here. I'm a water bed. Y'all can't do it. I already got them. I
I
just
know.
need to
I
bring them.
can see it. Just let it go.
All
Um,
right. What is the driving force behind your music?
all the questions you asking me is still leading to what you want me to say. What you want me to say? So you want me to go ahead?
Go ahead, dive in,
Okay, so
tell your
outside
story.
of what I'm about to say, like my trauma didn't start just at 18, but we're gonna start at 18. The driving force behind my music now. Um, Little backdrop. I come from being molested multiple times by multiple people, different ages. Um, Physically abused, emotionally abused, mentally abused. I struggle with suicide and self-harm as a kid for many years, long time, in and out of programs, stuff. Mom trying to get me some help. I wouldn't talk. I was a mute. Basically, it was like talking to a brick wall. I wouldn't express myself. I wouldn't do none of that. Like nobody knew how I felt. It would come out in rage. I would just rage and be destructive. 18, the main thing now or was behind DeJewel in my music now is at 18 years old, I was diagnosed with HIV. And it came from an older guy I was dealing with, and he did not inform me that he had it. So, not just being or the fact of being HIV positive, but it's the trauma that followed that from family, from the friends that I thought I had, the world's stigma and cruelty and how they treat and deal with people, living with HIV.
How
So,
did you go ahead, Peaches?
so the day you found out, right? If it's not too much, where were you mentally when you found out? Like I know you said it happened from an older guy, but like the day you actually found out, what was that
It
like?
was it was kind of weird because prior to I wasn't staying at home, but my mom would call me and be like, "Hey, you keep getting these letters at the house." I'm like, "Okay, mom, open it." And she was like, "No, it's a confidential." And I'm like, "I'm telling you to open it." But she would never, she wouldn't do it. So I went to the house and got it. And all it said was, "Hey, my name is such and such and such. Can you please give me a call? It's urgent." So I'm walking down the street with my niece. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Call. He's like, "Hey, can you come meet? I want to meet with you Monday. Never forget, March 17th, 2008. I want to meet with you." And I'm like, "What's going on?" "Oh, we can't discuss it over the phone." And I'm like, "Okay." Wasn't thinking that. But finally get to that day. It's actually kind of weird. Um, they sat me in this room and it was like a case manager, case worker, this doctor, that doctor. And then the main doctor that actually told me, he came out and he was just like, "Hi, how are you?" He was just like, "So we want to talk to you about something," long story short. And then he was just like, "Did you know that you were," and I said HIV positive. And he was like, "So did you already know?" And I was just like, "No." And I was just like, "I can't explain how I just heard you say it before you said it." And from that moment, I just broke down and cried. And the first words that came out of my mouth was, "I blame myself." And my outlook on that is reason being because, yeah, true enough, he was dead wrong for not telling me. He was dead wrong for not disclosing his status. But me as a woman, as a person that's being sexually active, I did not make sure that he was clean. I did not make sure he was straight. I didn't make him strap up, and I didn't strap him up. I didn't use protection. So it was just like I had to take self accountability before. I can't just point the finger at him because I played a part in it too.
Okay.
Did you dig yourself into a hole?
I did.
Did you get stagnant?
I did because I was uneducated then. And so I was just like, "What's the point?" And everybody was like, "You're gonna be fine. It's okay." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "It's not okay. What's the point?" I was so immature. Like I wasn't educated. And so I'm like, "What's the point of taking medicine when I'm just dying slow anyway?" So that was my mindset at 18.
What broke you out of that?
A whole lot of prayer. And it took a couple of years to get out of that mindset. Even though I eventually started taking treatment or doing treatment, even though therapy, it still took me like a long time to come out of like I'm just dying slow. And it wasn't until I started actually, because I'm also an advocate for HIV awareness, and I do HIV awareness and all that other I try to educate people as much as I can, as much as I know. It wasn't until I started doing that until I like really like people knew I would tell people, but as far as like anybody or social media, that wasn't the case. That didn't come that far. But I got off that mindset because I felt like God didn't cause it to happen, of course, but He allowed it to happen because I've always been a mouthpiece. And I just felt like, okay, yeah, this happened and there's a purpose behind it. And that purpose has been me speaking to younger women, older women, men, kids, youth, and like using my life as an example of, hey, this is something you don't want to walk in. This is something you don't want to go through. And knowing that or seeing, the change in the out of control teens and having people like slow down from the wild life that they're living, that changed my mindset. Like, okay, everybody want me to live, everybody want me to be healthy, but I'm not gonna do it because other people want me to. Like, I actually want to do it. So that kind of gave me, and a lot of people was like, "Oh, you stupid for that. You just not gonna take treatment." I said no. I would stop and play Russian roulette numerous times, but it would be me taking care of myself. It wasn't for me. It was because people wanted me to, and because people wanted me to stay alive. People wanted me to be around, but seeing like making a difference through my demise and still being, how can I say it, like inspiration through something that I felt like was so horrible and shameful, that kind of gave me a spark. Like, girl, like you still can. Like, and then even after I got to that mindset, I still made bad decisions. And it wasn't until I signed hospice papers with my mom that it was like, hey, you got to get a grip. You got to get a grip.
You must know what I'm finna ask you. Because I was gonna ask you what woke you up.
Being at death's door multiple times. It didn't take that first time. It was just like, yeah, I was good for about the first 6 months, and I was just like bird to this jump. Because it's a lot. It doesn't just, people just think, oh, it's this STD that you can't get rid of. But when you actually educate yourself on it, you will see all the side effects that it has, what the do's and the don'ts, what'll happen if you on treatment, how you supposed to, what will happen when you're not on treatment, how you supposed to, and mix it into playing Russian roulette. It just affected me in multiple different areas of my life. And so it took about the last time I was at death's door to be like, oh, it made me feel like, okay, God's saying, okay, you keep playing Russian roulette. Keep on.
Keep it up.
So, what made you start back singing?
Somebody reached out to me because that's what, I'm kind of known for on social media, and was just like, hey, somebody just found out they're HIV positive, or somebody scared to go get tested. Can you, this, that, and the third. It wasn't until I started back getting those messages, and it was this young lady. It was two different incidents. Um, a young lady, I knew her mom because I sung with her mom. She had found out that she was HIV positive, but she was 8 months pregnant.
Mm.
And it came from her husband. And her mom called me and was just like, my baby is like talking about killing herself. Then the other young lady, she actually did. I could not. We weren't in the same city. This was during the time, even though I still would have went. It was like, a year after my mom passed, but I still hadn't shook from it. And her cousin saw a video on YouTube and then followed my social media, found me on social media and reached out to me. It was like, yeah, my cousin, she's not taking it so well. Her baby's father gave her HIV. But she's looking at your videos, and she smiled. But then that night she killed herself. And from that moment, I made, even though it wasn't my fault that she killed herself, but you know how the compassionate parts of you will be like, dang, if I could have just got to her, Like if I was like being active, she could have seen a recent video, or I could have just talked to her or something. Maybe something I would have said or done would have been like, no, like, baby, your life. But I was like, I'm not doing. That was during the time where I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. But not that I wouldn't talk to her, but that made me get up and be like, just my truth. Regardless if you do what you're supposed to do or not, don't stop doing what you're doing, because you don't know who's watching you.
Well, I'm going to do something different than what we spoke of.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a acapella voice?
Of what song?
I don't care.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
What? Because music is your thing, right? So there
Mm-hmm.
had to be some song or something that brings you joy in those dark moments. What song was that?
Original or just a song, period?
Period.
Song
Whatever it was
period.
that touched you in a way that you was like, you know what, I can do tomorrow. I can do the next hour. I can do the next 30 minutes.
Ooh, girl. Okay, hold on. I got on cheap bass here. Hold on. It's Kelly Price version of
Okay.
Ooh, I don't know about tomorrow. I just live from day to day. And I don't borrow from its sunshine, 'cause its sky may turn to gray. And I don't worry about my future, for I know what Jesus said, and he walks beside me, and he knows what lies ahead. Many things about tomorrow I don't see to understand, but I know, I know who holds my future. And I know just who holds my hand.
Mm.
I've been
She
waiting
gave
for
me
this all week.
Girl,
All
I'm
week
gonna have
I've
to
been
call
waiting
my
on this.
lash lady
Praise the Lord, praise the
this
Lord.
morning. Ooh, honey. I'm gonna have to call my lash lady because baby. Ooh.
oh, she
Mm.
gave me chills.
I'm trying to tell you.
All
It's,
those songs,
you got me get ready to say the doors of the church are not open, honey.
no, for
Hmm.
real. And that Jacqueline Carr, he's
I
bigger
love
than the
it.
problems I face. That's what,
Mm.
those are songs that kind of, when I feel like that, because I still have my moments. Matter of fact, March 17th of this year, it'll mark 17 years. And God knows I should not be here, but purpose has kept me here. So,
Shouldn't have, woulda, coulda. If you shouldn't have been here, you wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's remove that from the vocabulary.
yes, ma'am. Okay, I meant to say
You have a
they said
purpose.
I wasn't supposed to be here.
Ask
Okay,
them
let
people.
me let
You
me
know
move.
what they say about the house of
They
David.
counted me. Them doctors counted me out a whole bunch of times,
Ask
even
them
when my
people.
heart stopped. I told you about the recent thing when we started
Hmm.
conversating. Like, cause I almost didn't make it to 25. My heart stopped, but in the midst of them doing the compressions, I was just like, "What are you doing? Like, get what?"
So I got a little tough question for you.
Go ahead. Ready
What was
for
your
it.
setback?
Ooh, my setback: drugs, alcohol, and thoughts of and the opinions of the world.
People pleasing.
Yep, not allowing myself to truly, like, I wasn't fake, but I was still allowing people to place me in this box of their perspectives of who I should be and how I should be.
I'm gonna need you to stay out my head because that was my next question. How do you stay authenticated to yourself?
Once I learned and once I finally tapped into who I was and realized, like, the people that's for you, they're gonna love you good, bad, ugly, this unconditional, versus people only loving you when things are good and when you look good. So, but the kicker, the issue was never people loving me. The issue was me loving myself. So I had to learn how to do that. So that means I had to sit down and I had to go not just back to 18, but I had to go back to childhood from wherever I stopped at that I could remember, and I had to heal from thing everything that was brought back to my memory. I had to heal from one thing at a time. And once I learned that, boo, I'm who I am. You either gonna love me or you not. And I walk in that. And then, like, my motto is now, like, on my worst days, Beyonce don't have nothing on me. Like, that's how I feel about myself. Even though a whole bunch of things could be going on in my life, but I'ma still pop out like, I don't care how many billions you got. Like, you don't got nothing on Facebook. Like, you don't got nothing on Facebook. What I got going on.
What
So
motivates you? What keeps you grinding, moving?
when I have my moments like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or I don't feel like I'm progressing, or um, I get in my tired moments like, oh, I want to be so much farther, like blah 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 blah. It's the small things that I wouldn't think that is so huge. When people, like, I don't ask for it, and people be like, man, that song you sung, like, it changed my mind. Or I've had a couple people like, man, hearing your voice, like, it relaxes me. I'm not depressed. Or I was contemplating suicide, but when I heard you sing, when I heard you, so that is like, not that I have to drive off other people, but it was just like, that's like my main strike from a lighter to keep going. Like, hey, like,
You
chin
got
up.
words.
Yeah.
So which one of us gonna break this question, Peaches?
Break it on down. I'm here for it.
Hmm.
I'm waiting for one specific topic. It's the same topic, but I'm waiting for one question. I mean, a couple of questions are put in one category.
Well, I guess I'll start it off.
'Cause I'm still trying to dry my eyes. Wait a minute. If you
Oh,
ever,
but back to you,
ever
get
wanted
Peaches
to know
real
why,
quick. The other song
Mhm.
was really that I really had to sing to myself was "I Won't Complain." I had to go back old school.
I listen to that
Oh,
almost
trust me, we
every
gonna come
day.
back to the voice. We ain't done yet.
Almost every day, I listen to that song because it's somebody.
What you say?
Listen, you thought it was a game when I said it was gonna be a showcase.
Oh no, I didn't think he was a game because I could hear it in your voice. I heard it in your voice. I was like, oh, she not finna play with me at all.
At all,
She's not.
No,
at all.
I know you was at a s- stagnant when life gave you a wave.
Mm.
Do you date?
I do. I wasn't. It's a lot. Um, I stopped because my last relationship was just very well. My last few was they were toxic, and I'm like, I had to tell myself, okay, like, are you staying? Are you? dating these people because they're accepting your status, but just because you accepting my status, like that don't mean treat me any kind of way. That don't mean like I'm desperate. That don't mean like because it's the lineup. If I caught you, guess how many other people I can catch? And it's not that I think I'm finna tap into your question. How do I tell them?
That yeah. I was waiting for that part. Like what is, because you can't never say a time frame. I guess it goes on feeling, but how do you break that ice?
Oh no, I tell them straight off. As soon as they be like, "Hey, little mama," or "Hey, this and the third, I got that shit. You still want to talk to me?"
You know what?
And they
I
be like, I'm just being real. That's how I do it.
Listen,
My
she got me
sisters
over here
hate it.
just batting my eyes like, wait, hold up.
And they be like, "Oh, what shit? Oh, you got you talking about? Oh, you got Ebola, no soup. Oh, you got what was the other thing that came out? It wasn't COVID,
SARS,
but huh?
SARS, SARS, Ebola,
No, all
one of
that stuff. And they be
all
like,
that.
"Oh, you got this." I be like, "No, stupid. Go Google. I got the tattoo on my arm right here, the red ribbon." And I was like, "Google the red ribbon." He was like, "What is that?" And I'd be like, "That Easy E on the beat. That Magic Johnson. Dang."
You know what?
I'm not gonna do this with you. No, we
Right.
not.
And now, no, for real. Like now, the thing that I say is now when people don't believe that I have it, it's so aggravating. And I'll be like, "Come on, what is that shit?" And I'll be like, "House in Vegas. Do the abbreviation.
Not
House."
House in Vegas. You
Yeah.
know what?
Go ahead and laugh.
But but that is a part
Oh,
of you
I'm
being
laughing.
healed.
Trust me, I'm laughing,
I,
but I
I'm not
wasn't
laughing at
prepared
you. I'm
because
laughing
I
with
didn't.
you.
The conversations we had is not this.
I mean, but I still told you I was a little Riri.
Hey, I'm not complaining. I ain't mad at all.
Not for real. And they still, and I'd be like, I asked them, I'd be like, "Why do y'all want a broken coochie? Like, what it
You know,
take?
we,
Like, why?"
Oh God.
Okay,
And it
I
was my
digress.
question, home.
you did that. You over there though. And she walked right on in.
Yeah, I'm for real. Easy on the beat. I mean, it's not funny, but that's just how I've been. I get cussed at. I be like, "You lying. If you ain't want to talk to me, you ain't got to stay. Why would you play with something like that? Who's going to tattoo a red ribbon on their arm? I chose to live on the inside."
At least you have a different type of heart. Most people that I've ran into, they're heartless.
Yeah.
I was bitter, but I wasn't heartless. I was angry. I wouldn't even say bitter, but it gave off bitter, but I was angry. You
No,
know.
these people are heartless because when you have it, if you have respect for that other person, the first thing you're
Oh
gonna do is
no, oh no, I ain't. That's why I became an advocate because I wanted to be like, hey, you don't have to become an advocate. You don't got to put your stuff on social media, but I want to be the one to show you. Like, but they be lined up at the door. Like, I be like, so you just don't care? I got that stuff. Like, I'm telling you, before you even know my name, hey, little mama, I'm trying to. I got that stuff. Do you still want to talk? I got that shit. Do you still want to talk to me? Can't talk to you. I got that, scar. You feel it?
Mm.
mm,
I,
mm, mm. How
Is
do
that
you
a?
create
I'm
your
sorry,
music?
Peaches, because I'm a little special. Is that a picture behind you?
oh yeah, that's me and
For
my
me,
wife. Yeah.
Girl, stop playing so much.
Me
Cause
and
I'm like, she laying. Is that somebody?
my,
Hey, I was about to say hey, but it's a
no,
picture.
that's
Okay.
that's me and my wife. That everywhere I go, she go.
I'm saying it was
Okay,
just
because I
like,
was going to say, who is that mean mother behind this peaches? Because I was going to ask them that they want to
right,
say hello.
right, money. Cause I'm like,
We
hold
was
on,
at an
cause she
all black
saying that me
party,
a
and
little too
that was
straight,
me.
like a little too serious. Like,
You know,
I'm scared. And I'm playing. Okay, go ahead.
that's me.
how do you create your music?
From experience. And then I put on a beat if I feel some type of way, if I'm feeling something or if something comes to me, I put on the beat and I grab my phone. I mean, I like to write, but I don't like to write. So I'd rather come from the heart and then go back and, you know what I'm saying, doctor it up and fix
So
the,
you freestyle.
yeah,
Ooh,
Look how
interesting.
mine turning.
I do.
It's
It is.
Most of my music has come from freestyles, and I just go back and try to learn what I said or change some words around.
That's right. You did do a cipher.
not you hiding, but it's coming. It's
Oh, you
coming.
can see me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, dang.
It's coming. So
Hmm.
you might as well get it ready because it's
No, I
How
go
was?
to the cipher. I didn't do one, but I go to it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, don't get me. Cause boy,
What are some things throughout your journey that you would say you didn't expect
right.
in a positive way?
Okay. Cause I was finna shots fired. No, I'm playing. Um, I didn't expect to like experience like love from like I didn't expect people to love me beyond that. Because of what I was used to. Um, Heck, I didn't even expect me to feel how I feel about myself. Because I come from my life is over. So to really be like, dang, I'm just 17 years. Okay. Ooh. So I didn't expect so much great things to come out of something that was supposed to destroy me. And a lot of when I say a lot of great things have come behind something that just seems like it's just so turmoil and toxic and great people I've met, connections. I've done some things. Shoot, my LLC came from that. A lot of my music, a lot that people have heard, came from that. I found out a lot of things about myself that I didn't expect. A lot of great things, good things. Like, um, last but not least, which is most importantly to me, I know you can't be strong all the time, but I didn't expect to find the strength that I have.
We tend to find out how stronger we are at our weakest.
in our darkest moments. Yeah.
Yep. And that to me, people like HIV is something, but yeah, that's not even the icing on the cake. Like that's to me, that's like, puh,
Yeah.
like
Do
worse.
you, do you, I'm not going to say do you because I know you do.
Mhm.
How did you allow your support system now? How
Mm.
did you break that wall down and allow them to be there for you?
It's to be honest, and because I believe in walking, not just telling the truth, but my truth. It's not completely broken down because a lot of things trigger me. That doesn't. I mean, I know it's not. I do understand it's not purposely done. Um, but what I don't do is run how I would run. I would take flight, like even if I felt like if that wasn't the case, but if you made me feel like that, I'm out of here. Um, mm, um, Patience
Take your
with
time.
myself because it does it is a lot. It can be a lot. Like when you really sit down and think about it, or when it hits you or hit me, like dang, like I'm really HIV positive. Like for me, it's like I can still like I had to teach myself to listen to my support system, hear them out, because I was stuck in you're not walking in your shoes, so you don't know how I really feel.
Mm.
But positive energy, good advice, encouragement, pushing, a shoulder, you don't have to be positive. That's just what I is like my that was stuck in my head or what I expected. Like what I can't get from those that are positive, I get from those that aren't in my support system. And it's just like they walk with me like through it. They hold my hand. Like I've been at moments where I couldn't bathe myself, wipe myself from using the bathroom, and it took people that wasn't like in real genuine, like I wouldn't even allow nobody to help me. Like that's how traumatized I had been or treated so badly from those that I thought, like, oh, we rocking, like we've been rocking for years, this, that, and the third. So it still gets a little hard for me, but I'm at ease because through my healing process, I have to remind myself sometimes, be being honest, like, hey, these aren't those people that hurt you. These aren't the people that neglect you. These aren't the people that threw you away. These aren't the people that's like, oh, and
You
you
got to
know,
remember they're there with you through your ups and downs.
mm-hmm,
Everybody's not the same, but people do stick a thorn in your body where you remember,
mm-hmm,
And
and
also,
it's just hard to take out.
sometimes when people leave, it's not it's not to hurt you, it's to help you because they
Hmm.
can't go where you're going. They're not
mm-hmm.
allowed to
Exactly.
be in that next
And
step. So they gotta go. They gotta go. And
listen,
you shouldn't feel no way about it. Let them
I
go.
don't
Hmm.
now because now I understand. Like I was thinking from my emotions, number one. I was
Hmm.
thinking from my expectations or my perspective of things. But when, like I say, once I got through, I started that healing process, and that healing process started in 2020. So once
Okay.
I literally wanted to heal the inner me, I look at a lot of things differently now. I like to see the bigger picture, or I try to see the bigger picture versus what a person is showing me, how they're acting, and what they're saying.
Hmm.
So, um,
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with your craft?
sitting somewhere with my feet with my feet up or traveling around. Well, I see myself doing that now. Um, I see myself with so many invested other projects and working with other people, like just this thing steady building and growing like nationwide, like just making a difference all around the world. And it's basically like I told you, like it's not just HIV that I'm an advocate for or that I do awareness for. So
Hmm.
all this stuff gonna tie into, you know what I'm saying, everything. Just me being, I don't know, basically just not where I am now. Like if that makes sense.
Okay. So technically, you're open
Hmm.
for whatever you can stick a toe in, whatever you can complete, and whatever you can get done. There's no limits.
There's no limit. My main goal is just making a difference and showing the world. And when I do my little awareness videos, I don't just target people or talk to people that aren't positive. You know, I target the ones that are positive because in order to fix anything, you got to go to the root. So the root from cruelty and the stigma is those, like you say, being bitter, not disclosing their status, not telling nobody because they feel like because it happened to them, they gotta cause it to happen to other people instead of taking
Hmm.
self accountability or responsibility for whatever part. If you weren't born with it, taking responsibility for the part that you played in it.
Now, what advice would you give someone who just found out they've been
First,
diagnosed?
don't ever play Russian roulette like I did. Do not. Take your treatment, stay on your treatment, and you won't have no issues. Look up some natural stuff to take with your treatment. That way, because okay, our treatment is it's kind of it's like a give and a take, like most medications and stuff. Like it helps with one thing, but then it'll cause so many other problems in other areas. So I would, encourage them to, educate themselves. I also would encourage them like, hey, like in your love life, they deserve to know. Don't take somebody's chance. It's either they gonna deal with you or they not. They gonna accept it or they not.
True.
Basically.
Yeah.
True. So let's hear one of your tracks
Okay.
a cappella. You can just give us a little tease. You ain't got to give us the whole thing. I just want people to hear you due to the simple fact that we're live.
Okay. um. Okay. Since we're on the topic, I wrote this in 2020. It's called "What Would You Do." It was for awareness, and it came from I felt like people don't hear. They probably won't hear you when you talk most of the time, but the grab audiences, I was like, you're not hearing me when I'm talking, but maybe you'll hear me if I put it in a song through music. Basically, the song is about basically just asking like, what would you do if it was you? How would you feel? How would you want somebody to treat you? It was targeting stigma. But, it's peaches for me because she like,
I'm listening.
you
Got
good,
my
you
tongue
good, you
tickled.
good, you good, you good, you good. But, um, what would you do if it was you? How would you feel if it happened to you? What would you have to say if it was your name on the diagnosis page? I'm so sick and tired of people being judgmental. Whatever happened to love unconditional? I wanna know, what would you do? What would you have to say? How would you want me to treat you if it was you? I, I was just 18 when somebody took my life and he didn't even think. He didn't even think twice. How could you be? How could you be so cruel when it's just a virus that we carry? What if it happened to you? I wanna know, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do if it was you? How would you feel if it happened to you? What would you have to say if it was your name on the diagnosis page? I just want to know, what would you do?
I had a question.
Yeah.
Not ma'am. Did you ever have a conversation with the person?
It took me a couple of years to talk to him. I couldn't. Reason being because he made me look like I was delusional, like I was lying. And I'm like, for me taking accountability, let's rewind a little bit. The doctor, he was just like, I could lose my job by telling you this. But he was just like, nobody has ever came in here and took responsibility. It was always the other person. He was just like, but the first words out of your mouth was, I blame myself. So he told me, he was just like, we have technology that can tell when you contracted it. So when he said it, I was just like, yeah, my boy. Like, So he went and go get tested, and they was telling me that I was pregnant. So, and it just it angered me because I was so scared to tell him, and it was just like, but it was you the whole time, and you played in my face like you. Oh, I ain't worried about it. And I'm 18. I'm like, oh, you really love me, like somebody, man, whatever, and this, that, and the third. I finally talked to him because I needed to move on with my life, and I needed to get out of that 18-year-old girl, and I needed to forgive so I could stop being angry. I talked to him, and the dumbest thing that I could have ever heard, it, it was very. I was just like, this boy incompetent. Like, what did I see in you? What? I asked him. I said, why did you, why did you do it? Like, why you didn't tell me? I didn't want to talk no more after he answered. I didn't, because I didn't want to lose you. You didn't tell me. Infected me, and you still lost me. The type of heart that I've always had, if he would have told me even at 18, I wouldn't have went nowhere. I just probably would have took proper precautions to be like, what if this not a forever thing, you know?
Right.
So why didn't you press charges?
Because I was 18 and I was stupid and I was head over heels and continued to mess with him afterwards until like I couldn't do it no more. It was bothering me too bad. Like, because I felt like that's what I had to do. Like, you gave it to me. I can't. Who else is gonna want me? Who else is gonna, you know?
Mm.
And you said you was pregnant?
They said,
She said they said.
um, had me go through the healthy start, all that, and I was like, y'all don't want to take my took my blood, all that. Oh my God, you're pregnant. We need to get you on this. You need to get you on your medication. Oh my God. Where the baby
It's you for me.
at?
I can't take it. Can't
It's
take
you
it.
for me.
No, for real. Like I've been pregnant multiple times. Like, matter of fact, I was just pregnant. But yeah, back then, yeah, I was I was so
Well,
young. Like,
I have a question for you, Miss Jewel.
yeah,
At the stage and everything where you at now,
hmm
you say to that little girl.
can you repeat the last part? You kind of went out.
So, for your healing,
Yeah,
as the woman you are now, what would you say to that girl, that little girl that felt so hurt growing up? What would you say to her now, as the adult you are?
I would ask her a question like, "Why did you ever feel like you wasn't beautiful? Why? Why didn't you like not just with that, but with everything? Like, your life could have been not going back to the shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you could have always. I would, man. People be like, "Oh no, that's just sound crazy." No, I would embrace her number one and be like, "You could have told somebody. Like, you could have talked about it." You know, and it's like I basically let it know like all is well, like you good, like and you need to go on because that little girl had to grow up. Girl got to grow up.
And I think part of it starts because you were raised in church. So you were kind of taught the old school ways of keeping those family secrets.
A secret, hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
Pray about it,
I
but don't say nothing about it.
on my God rest her soul, my mama ain't play that. I just didn't feel like I could like open up, or I didn't have the courage enough to, like even with molestation, like I didn't have the courage enough to say, hey, I'm being touched, or
So how did you get yourself out of those holes? Because when those happen, the trauma starts. we tend to dig ourselves in a hole to cover up the hurt, to suppress it.
Yeah.
So to heal, you have to reopen all of
You
those wounds
absolutely do.
You
and
gotta
You
heal
gotta.
re
what broke you.
refill, rethink, re-go through all the mixed emotions. So with all of the weight that was on your shoulders, how did you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually get strong enough
The first
to
thing
say,
I had to
I'm
do
finna tie up
was
my shoes and walk this walk?
like the first thing I had to do was I had to take my focus off of everybody and what they did to me, and I had to deal with myself. I had to deal with Dana, and that wasn't easy at all. Like I had to see myself, and you know how it was like I'm walking around like I'm okay. But once that healing, and I began to being stripped and stripping myself to go back, I had no idea that I was carrying like some of that stuff I didn't even remember right offhand. I had no idea I was carrying around. But it helped me to understand why I was the way that I was, why I did certain things, why I would act in certain mannerisms around people, or why I didn't like being around people. It helped me to understand so much about myself. And I also had to face that I didn't recognize before I started healing, like in the midst of me having all this trauma inside or undealt with stuff that I'm holding on and it's just building on top of each other. I was hurting other people. Like, and I was hurting not just other people, but those that's like trying to support me, those that's trying to love me, those that was really in my corner. I wasn't seeing how my actions or how I was affecting them because my only focus was I'm hurting, or my focus is, or my mind is on this happened to me, and I basically didn't care. I mean, I had a heart, my heart was still pure, but I had got to a point where I don't care. And when I say I did not care, I did not care. Not even about myself. Like it was to a point where I hated my reflection. Like I couldn't even smile in a picture. Like I brushed my teeth with my eyes closed. Like I hated looking at myself.
What woke you up? Because it was something, it was a day that you woke up and start to live again.
Mm. The first time was 2013. Like I was telling y'all about hospice. Uh, I was calling everybody, like saying my goodbyes, like this is it. And my brother, I was just literally laying. I think I was in the hospital like almost 2 months, and I was in ICU, but I was just laying there like I wasn't fighting. I was just like, this it. I'm gone. Like let me call everybody. Let me make it right. Like whoever I need to make it right with, let me make it right. And that was just that. We was getting everything together because it's like, yeah, she's not gonna make it to her 23rd birthday. But as much as me and my brother are at each other's throats, he called me every single day and he was just like, you gotta live. And he was just like, you gotta fight. We can't fight for you. And he said just those words every day. And I'm like, he loves me. So it was that in that moment, like seeing my mom, it's like, you gotta fight. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. And I ain't want to.
So, how many times have you been hospitalized, if you don't mind me asking,
50, 11,
when you
30,
felt that you
11,000
wasn't
times.
going to make it?
Not 50, 11, 30.
50 legs, 30,000 times 2400. And Mama Dear was 102,522. Um, a lot of times, countless times, a
So,
lot.
what is the difference now when you have a episode where you have the mentality where you know you're going in fighting and you know you walking up out of there than you felt before?
Oh, because my mindset is different about myself. And basically, my hospital stays now is what I did to myself by playing Russian roulette, by allowing my immune system to drop so many times. Starting the medicine, getting off it, starting to getting off it, starting to getting off it. And my immune system just basically like, okay, well, you keep shooting it, you just gonna have a shot immune system.
Mm.
But now, um, I tell myself like, you gotta do this, like you gotta do it. And the difference is, I want to. Before I
Mm.
didn't.
And you can write, if you can leave your legacy tomorrow and you can be the captain that writes your headline, what would it say about you from your traumas, the growth, the hurt, the rebuild, the queen that you are now?
She didn't just survive tragedy, but she conquered it.
I was gonna ask you what your daily mantra is because you got to get up and say something to yourself every day. And what is that? But I think you just told me.
I didn't
Well,
hear it. Can you repeat that?
she didn't just survive tragedy; she conquered it.
Mm, okay.
That's a word.
Hmm.
And I was licensed minister, but I turned my license in.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? My mom did. She still does. Um, I myself, I inspire them to be honest, because I be
Most
trying
of
to figure out how in the world do you get up and how
tries to
you don't wash
fail,
them. Huh?
To
tries
try.
to fail.
My who?
Remove that from your category. Tries to fail. We don't fail around here.
Oh! I got it. It took a minute. Okay. I was like, what? You can't do what? Linda, listen. What? Okay. I be figuring out how do I get up, and like I've watched so many other people go through similar things, the same thing, and then not saying that anybody's struggle or anybody's trauma is lesser than mine, but minor than mine. And they just lost their whole they out here talking to themselves like you can't recognize them. And I'm like, every day you still getting up in your right mind, no matter how bad you may feel, no matter what emotion you may feel, is like it's something inside of you that you, even if I wanted to quit, I can't, because I'm gonna push myself. Like, you know how the scripture, how they teach us, we heard in church, was like your spirit make intercession for you and you can't.
Mm.
That, like, I'll be like dang. So everybody else could just throw in the towel, but I can't, huh? But not in that type of way.
I get
Um,
it.
I see a lot of people that go through other things too. It doesn't have to be HIV, and I look at how they push and they still get up, and it was like, I'm going until my last breath. I'm gonna do something. Like I'm gonna make a
Yeah.
difference. I'm gonna shine my light. My light gonna shine. And what I wasn't doing was living my life, doing what makes me happy. So I
So
watch
and that
people that do that. So I'm taking notes. Was like, I'm sitting right here telling myself what I can't do and what I won't be able to do, and I can do all of it.
Mm-hmm.
so how do you live your best life now?
Uh, man, they said I twerk in church. You hear me? And I'll be like, they said praise them and dance. It didn't specify what dance.
No.
You
And
know
they be
what?
like, get
It's
out. And
true.
I'll be like, what? But no, for real. I'm living my best life, like doing what makes me happy without feeling I gotta box myself into others' expectations. Like even with the stuff that people don't agree with, like even when it comes to that's another thing when it comes to my music, like so many people are coming at me by singing in a bar, by singing like I have a song, one of the songs I sent you, Let Me Moan. It was like, oh, that's too la la la. No, that's a part of DeJewel. That's a part of
Hmm.
Dana. Like if I'm gonna bust it, that's not my plan. But I am who I am, and I don't care what you say or what you think, because your thoughts don't dictate me. It doesn't define who I am.
It
You
don't
are
supposed to.
entitled to have your opinion, but your opinion didn't create me. Your opinion didn't make me. Your opinion isn't molding me into who I am, and your opinion sure ain't paying the bills, taking care of me. So whatever makes me happy, I'ma do it.
All right. The
I
sun's
get
still
it.
gonna shine, the earth's still gonna spin. So
For
what
real.
Mm.
Like
I agree. I agree.
Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
first shout out to, God. Um
Come on, Grammys.
She
Come
no,
on,
for real,
Grammys.
because no, seriously, because like all this is possible. Me even being in the place that I'm in, me even realizing now that I wanted it back then, but it wasn't time and I wasn't ready.
Mm.
And everything has its design timing. And it's now my turn. It's now my time. So, first and foremost, after that, I want to shout out Miss Latoya Smith, aka
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
for
you.
giving me this awesome, amazing opportunity. Peaches, money, y'all listening and giving me feedback is so encouraging. I want to shout out my bishop, my church, Bishop Hart, believe in faith. The cipher, because had it not been for the cipher, open mic
Hmm.
and poetry, DJ Monster, the poet, Makita Modell, I wouldn't have met Brian. I wouldn't have met Real Proper Life, and I wouldn't have met you. So
True.
I have to shout them. I want to shout out all my support system, everybody who pours into me, whether you show up, whether you don't have to say nothing to me. You could just cover me. You know what I'm saying? Just anybody who believes in DeJewel and who believed that I still could, who didn't see me, my status. Just look to anybody all the people who just loves and support me and pushes me because I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think like nobody would hear me or nobody would listen to me. So everybody, it's a lot of people to name. I'm a little special. My brain
It
ain't gonna
is.
tell my name.
It is. But I wanted to give that opportunity so you could continue to speak your truth. You can give those people a little shining star. Um,
Mm.
I
because
gotta.
that
You did, Ty Baker. Oh, excuse me.
because again, it's a lot of people that in your corner that
Yes,
helps push and motivate you.
yes.
So when you say you're an advocate, what is something that you haven't done that you want to do?
Um, what is something that I haven't done that I want to do? As far as Dumb
It's the
eternal.
sky's the limit. Again, it's something you want to do that you
I see
haven't
you, PG.
Yeah.
She like this girl. Yeah.
done.
um, what is something that I haven't done that I want to do? I feel like radio. Something that I haven't done. I got a brain fart because I feel like I haven't done it all.
It's a lot of things you haven't done. It's
My brain
something
hurt.
back there puzzling that you want to
Cause the way you pause, it's like you was gonna say it. It's
do.
like I ain't ready.
Cause so many different things come into my head, and I'm like, I just don't.
All I
Okay,
said was give me
my
since you
book,
can't
my
since
book,
you can't pull
Look,
out one out, let's
tour,
give me two things.
tour, yeah,
your book.
book,
Okay.
my book. Um, I really want to start back doing spoken word because I be in here like, see, if I didn't think, stuff
I'm
stuff be
sorry.
coming.
I thought we had that conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Look,
It ain't want to get back in poetry. You are going to get back into poetry.
we
I'm
not trying.
already back in poetry. How you getting on me? I'm back in it already. Ain't no
as
gonna get back
long
here.
as
I'm in it.
long as you
um,
know, spit don't swallow. It's coming.
I want to know for real because I miss. Oh, that I haven't
Oh,
done.
you
To
think
the
it's a
world,
joke?
travel.
You talking about but no, seriously, no, so serious. Do you see the look on my face? Soon as I create an event, ding,
They,
inbox, text, call, something.
okay, so you call
Al-
on my phone and be
Already
like, "You
added to the
deserve
list.
much better." What is something that I haven't done? I want to dance. Like, how those people that expresses, like they choose certain songs or certain
Girl,
things
I thought you was
to.
gonna say Magic City, cause you said you
I
wanted that.
did that. I did that already.
So
Listen,
You know.
she hasn't been to a spit
You know
don't
I'm a pro
swallow.
at the pole, girl. I mean, I can't climb it, but
you,
She hasn't been
oh.
to a
that's a lot
spit
of
don't
arm shit.
swallow
Yeah, I haven't done that,
dancing.
so I need to do that. That's a need. That's not a want. That's a
Listen,
need. I mean, I still
I've
want to.
I've actually did a poem and I had someone dance behind it. This is a platform of creativity.
And I'm so like, I haven't. I wanted to start because I was putting stuff on shirts. Well, I would do it online, but I never go forth with it. So I just, it's a whole, like we talked about, it's a whole bunch of stuff that I want. I always want to do.
hmm But I do
Go ahead,
want to see
PG.
it. Go ahead, Peaches. You got something to
No, no,
say?
go ahead.
No, because I was finna see if this song plays. I wanted to I'm looking for the right word. Bring
Which one you
out
talking about?
it's not yours. Trust me, I have a those videos that can't get played on here, but they get played on the TV.
No, I was just,
But
you said something a song, and I was like, oh, which
yeah,
one of these? I love music. I'm sorry.
that's okay. It's a artist. Well, it's a group, one past that was one of my first artists
Hmm.
on Spit Don't Swallow.
Hmm.
He sent me an exclusive.
Hmm.
So
Like it, exclusive. Okay.
because I'm the only one that got it.
It's the
So
whisper for me.
I wanna see if it plays because it played earlier. It got
Hmm.
stuck somewhere and it just stopped playing. But I do wanna let it be heard and
Take off, man.
let ooh, look at that feisty too, ain't she?
You hear
Okay.
it?
Yeah, I see face for all of that.
No, because it's
But
yo. Listen, go
listen,
ahead.
it's okay. It's spit your words. Ain't no holdbacks over here.
Not at all. That's why I'm being retarded. Because that's I wake up like this.
Also, you're comfortable.
So okay.
Comfortable when you're comfortable, you be
Yeah.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You be
You
genuine.
open.
And on top of it, you told me you was a ball of tears, but I haven't seen you really cry.
That's because I got this cheap. I mean, I done cried a little bit, but I wouldn't like allow myself to cry because this cheap mascara gonna burn. It's blue.
Oh
See,
Lord.
Now it's gonna burn. Listen, your mascara, my lashes, honey, they.
it's getting up because I know you come and listen. You haven't even touched. See what I've discerned. Like y'all haven't even asked me. Like that's just like y'all gave me some premature questions,
We
and
ain't getting no, sweetie. There's a part two. Calm
That
down.
that tattoo on your arm, the one next to
which one? The
the
ribbon.
yeah. You said there was some words with it. What were the words?
I chose to live
The day you decided to get that tattoo, what made you do it?
because I didn't want to live.
So you
And
were
that
sending yourself a message.
yeah. So that's your daily reminder.
Mm, mm, mm.
You just never know.
You never know.
Like yeah, it's getting a little. Me, me, me.
Not me.
Wanna be the one that you. I wanna be the one that you.
Just never know. You might as well just let it flow. Just
I wanna be
it's
the
okay.
last thing that you
Woo woo
see,
woo.
and I even the
Yeah.
first thing that you see in the morning. I wanna
And
be
then
the
it's
guy
another
that
one
touch
over
you to
here.
get it right. I
It's
want
not a
this for
ribbon, but
life,
it
baby. I
says
want this for
never give up.
life. I wanna be the one to
And I
wash
actually
away all
have
the
the
pain.
date that I
I
was
wanna be the one
diagnosed
to put this smile on
right
your
here by
face. I
Never
want
Give
this
Up.
for life, baby. I want this for life. I want this for life. I'm talking
Um,
love at first sight. I could've beat it up, but we just chilled on the first
Can y'all
night.
hear the
But
song?
in due time, you know, I had to get right. I had to get right. Yeah, I had to get right. Listen.
You
Mm-mm.
couldn't hear it?
No.
Slow
no.
penetration from a fat nigga, now
Mm,
that's real. She said, speed it up. I said,
okay.
go and put your leg here,
I
put
don't
your
like
other leg
that.
here. I'm about to scuba dive with no gear.
I gotta
We can
fix
fall
that.
asleep, baby, with nowhere. I put the smile on your
Um,
face. Yeah, I'm guilty of the case. Washed away the pain that they put up on that beautiful face. All in your head like a Remy or Malaysia lace. I want this for life like a 3-time felon case. No flea bugging, baby. I'm doing the
what
time
did
to
you
the face.
stop
Me and you
doing
against the world. I know you heard it all before, but I'm trying to put a ring on it.
that
I even tried to sing on it. 4 ounces in my cup, baby. I even leaned
I
on it. Be
guess
the last
gives
thing
you
that you
a
see, and I be the first thing that you see in the morning. I wanna be the guy to touch it and get it right. I want this for life, baby. I want this for life. I
give you
wanna
a
be the
better
one to
chance.
wash
So you
away
know,
all
there's
the
they say that
pain.
if you
I
stop
wanna
doing
be the one
certain
to put this
things,
smile on your
that will
face. I
benefit or
wanna
that will help. Is there anything that you actually stopped that benefit, or is there anything that you started doing that helps you?
I had to stop thinking so negative. I was, I didn't feel like it was negative. I thought I was just being truthful and honest, but it was like negative honesty. When it came to my life living, and I had to, and I'm still training myself, retraining myself what to and how to speak. Because words do have power,
Mm-hmm.
and the things that I would say or speak in the atmosphere concerning myself that like manifest. And I looked at was like, dang, if you can speak so much into other people's lives and you watch it manifest, like why you just won't speak the same positivity to yourself? So I stopped doing that, and then I started one day at a time.
I get it.
I stopped brushing stuff up under the rug. I started dealing with it, confronting stuff at the head, addressing it at the head, at the root, like allowing myself to feel because I've always had to be this strong person. Like I couldn't. express myself. I couldn't let it out how I really felt because I had to be a certain way. And
I
now
get
if
it.
I feel how I feel, if I'm in error, I will correct myself. But I allow myself to feel it, then I reevaluate because everything you feel don't mean that that's the case.
True. I get it.
That's a sign of
But
overthinker. What's your sign? I'm the most hated sign, so I that's why.
I love you. I don't want to fight. Okay, I'm a Cancer.
Oh, so you wear everything on your sleeve.
No, I mean I am cut from a different crowd, but uh, I wouldn't. No, because half of the time people tell me all the time I never would think like something is wrong with you, or I would never think that you would feel this way, or type of stuff.
Hmm.
and
Your
you
mother
were
done been
June or
removed off my life.
July?
July.
Look, them wheels turning.
She sounded a little bit
Rem-
similar to me, but
She talking about the wheelchair.
You see, she thought when she said June and July, them wheels turning.
don't judge me
No judgment
because
on.
those June cancers, them are the crybabies in the first week. Then you got like the second week, the third week are the sassiness.
I
The
wouldn't,
sa-
even if I wasn't a Cancer. Like people like, oh, I forgot you a Cancer. You're a crybaby. I'm not even a crybaby because I'm a Cancer. I'm a crybaby because my mama cried her whole pregnancy with me. That's why I cry.
She mocked you.
You did. You can fool.
if there was anything, no, let me rephrase that. Regardless of your waves, and because it made you the person who you are today, would you necessarily change it?
I was gonna
No,
ask, is there something that she would change?
no,
I can understand that.
because in order to be this amazing person that I've grown and I'm still going to be, all that came from not all of it, but some of that was, but most of it was birthed from trauma, pain, hurt, all those different things. So it gave me, I wouldn't have the wisdom that I have if it wasn't for, what I'm saying, the things that I've gone through or
Hmm.
the things that I've experienced. I wouldn't have the love for myself, or I wouldn't be able to relate to, what I'm saying, other people, or yet
Hmm.
alone, I wouldn't be able to draw the people that most people wouldn't want to draw or most people would overlook. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't change anything.
I get it.
I
I
mean, of
really
course, I
don't
wouldn't
blame
want
you.
none of those things to happen, but I wouldn't
Mhm.
change it because that's past and it
And that's
actually birthed
technically your
something
story,
amazing.
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
that's your story. And I tell people all the time, when we're born, our story is already written.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
We just turn off the road and
Hmm.
gotta deviate back.
Hmm.
But the story is already written. We just don't have a clue what it is.
Right.
But we're gonna go ahead and allow you to say anything that you would like to say to close out the show. But there has to be a part two, and
Definitely.
that will be coming soon. So you think the questions are easy. We just wanted to smooth it out because I wanted the people to get to know you. I wanted to get
Um,
an insight of your story. I wanted you to
no,
tell
cause
your
I didn't think
story.
they was easy. I just felt like y'all ain't go. Okay, so me being an observer, right,
Hmm.
and a reader, like it's some things like I can tell it was like y'all was holding back a little bit. Like y'all was like, that's a little. So I know at one. I know You know what I'm saying? When it could get deeper, and I know how deep I can go. So I felt that. So I was
Hmm.
just like, oh y'all,
Because
okay, this is
again,
intro,
this is
Surface.
your story.
right?
I don't want to dive deep. I want to be able to tell it from
Conception. Where it started. Yeah.
where exactly
Mhm.
where it started. That
Hmm.
way it breaks down and people understand because again, you never know who hears, who watches,
Right,
who's listening for someone to give them some type of advice.
right,
Mm.
Just because it's us don't mean it won't be in New York tomorrow. Somebody looking at it, somebody listening to it. Your story is going to encourage somebody. And one thing about it, two things for sure, you're going to get more attention.
Mhm.
And it's just because of your story. Some way that you're there to help somebody in something that they wasn't able to speak. You spoke for them. You spoke to them and you moved them. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get a whole bunch of new followers
Mhm.
and people asking you to give them some type of encouragement. So we
Nothing.
wanted we
Yeah.
wanted to dive deep, but we wanted to get the story told
It's
and
want
coming.
to climb
untold.
there instead of just
It's
whoa.
Yeah,
it's coming.
because again, a person's not going to understand you as an artist and what your story is if we
Until
just
they
skip
understand
pieces.
you as a person, right?
Mhm.
I wanted them to see you as a person, an artist, and even though you had a trial, you still fight it, and it doesn't stop you from being who you
Right,
are and what you display.
Right.
right. Oh
And now she wants to cry.
no, I've been holding it this whole time, like, cause it's like these are the conversations like I don't even have to talk about me, but like positive. You know what I'm saying? This is what I be hungry for stuff like that because I done been a part of. I done had so much negative, and it just be like I won't like I'm cool with taking myself out on a date. I'm cool with being home by myself. I'm cool with shutting myself in my room, turning my speaker on. I'm cool with some wine by
Oh,
myself.
honey, it was in the corner the whole time.
I'm cool. Like,
Baby.
I'm cool. Like, I
Hmm.
love me. So it's like, but you do as a human being and as a person, you wanna be connected. You want to have friends and you want to be connected to people who are
But you want it
Right.
genuine just as well as
right.
you are.
Not just
You want it.
because, oh, she'll make me look real good. Oh, yep, I can use her. But no, it's like outside of what we doing, like, hey girl,
Hmm.
like you tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Hmm.
hey, but hey,
Yeah.
like, cause I want somebody to tell me the truth. You want people that's
Hmm.
like minded. You want people, even though we talk like, oh, you can't expect you from people, but
No.
I strongly believe that man gotta connect you with people that are just like you, and that you can get you from. You know what
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm saying? People is letting go the toxic people that you know that's not no good for you, but you still holding on to them so you
Hmm.
can get to the people that you need to be in your life. Like, it's
Yeah.
just enough. Like, all these conversations that's being had they're not meaningful. Like, they're
And
not.
on top of it, they're not genuine.
I
Mhm.
don't know. Can we talk
It's
about how
what's
we
the
could
hot
put our
topic.
ideas together? Like,
It's
let's talk
what's the
about
hot topic right now and not what's the longevity.
right. Nobody wants to view stuff like I look at people I connect to. Okay, God, what's my assignment? What's my assignment? What am I supposed to do? Like, what do you have need of me to do while I'm connected to this person?
Right.
And it's
Hmm.
like nobody thinks that okay, it's all self motives nowadays. Especially it's getting like more and more wicked. Like they don't have the mindset. Okay, you pour into me and I pour into you. No, just pour into me. Let me plug up to
Hmm.
you and recharge, and then
Hmm.
you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying. But
Yeah.
who? Yeah, I mean, I understand he carried his own cross, but dang, it's like you don't think the person that built the bricks gonna need some help? You don't think the
Yeah,
person
yeah,
I can't just keep
let
pouring.
that statue some statues, let's talk about bridges and expressways and stuff. They
yeah,
strong and they strong and they strong and they strong, but one crack, one break. Gotta
Foundation.
yeah.
be remodeled.
True. But
Foundation.
you are welcome. We have a show. I
Mm.
wish I could skip Thursday. Thursday is
Oh
poetry
no! Oh no!
table
No!
talk.
No! We not skipping
Mind your
Thursday.
business.
Mm-mm.
Mind your business.
Mm-mm. We not
Thursday
skipping
is
that.
poetry table talk.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're free, please
What
join us.
what time? Don't do me like that.
Same time,
9 o'clock.
but you
Come
can
on,
also
DeJewel.
go back and listen to it.
I want to show my face.
Well, like I say, if you're
I do.
available, jump on
Hmm. I could go
because
outside. Listen, last
I will
Thursday
be
I
in,
sat outside all night. I just won't
I
be
will be
driving.
in the hot seat.
Yeah, that's why she's trying to skip Thursday. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
No, because okay, so I'm performing Thursday, but I'm gonna come on and show my face. I'm gonna show my face, my
Okay.
voice, something let you know that because I love supporting. Like I love like
What time is your show?
what's that? The cipher. I normally get there like 8:35. They make me get on stage, and the
I did.
last couple of yeah, if I don't sign my name, they will, and then if I scratch it out, they still gonna call me up there. The last couple of Thursdays, I've been towed up outside with shades on. They be like, DeJewel. And I be like, I'm like, I can't even get up. It was like, man, stop playing. And I'll lift my shades and be like, oh my God, you're so up. Yep.
You did that on purpose.
Nope. But nah, I can still come outside and go
Okay.
outside just to,
Okay.
cause I love supporting people. I love doing that.
I enjoyed part one of the
I did
Soulful
too.
DeJewel.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for part two.
Got me on here acting like that. First
No, we
go
Uh-uh.
got those.
round, making me
We got those.
comfortable and stuff. Safe place. Okay.
Listen, that's
Safe
what I
space.
do.
It's a safe
That's
space.
what I do. I,
Hi, my name is Respucia Jr. Thank you.
You know what? I
All right.
we
My
gonna
bad.
end the show on that note.
I was
Lady,
How you
thank you
doing?
for your time.
you know
Thank
what?
Thank
you.
y'all.
Thank you for coming on Dripping Ink. And she dripped her ink.
Indeed.
Thank you.
And left our mark.
Yes, she did. So again, look out for the video. We're gonna do some editing. I will send you a copy. Also
Okay.
send you a link once it gets on YouTube. So
Okay.
we'll be
Mm,
live.
yeah.
And
House real big. Already. I'm pretty big.
tell your
Y'all fit
homie
right
and
in because I'm big. No, I'm playing.
tell your homie that does the instrument. I will be reaching out and I'm saying this on live.
Yeah, she ain't talk. She talking to Ty Baker. Mhm.
So I will be reaching out.
Okay.
So please respond. And Miss Jewel, we will be speaking shortly.
Thank you
In a
so
couple of days,
much.
I'll reach out and speak to you.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Mhm.
I'll
Okay.
see you, Miss Peaches, and earlier than sooner because Thursday
Sooner
I
or
ain't
later.
ready.
Right.
And Miss Money Monster, thank you for tuning in. Ladies, enjoy your night.
Y'all too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night.
Good night.
Oh.
Oh.